Shalom. All praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashemi Haushai, Bahashema Kodesh. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of GMS, or the true leaders of Israel today, and salutations to all of the Akim who do this work in truth and sincerity, who are risking their lives and their freedoms to do so, as well as the scattered Israelites who come looking like the heathen, but are not, by way of their forefathers' seeds who are Israelite men. The true name of the Most High is Yahweh, and his son's name is Yahushai, and the Lord's holy chosen people are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, as we're the ones who suffer under the curses in the book of Deuteronomy. My name is Zakalio, and this video is about the mark of the beast prophecy, which is a microchip. Alright, so here it is, another update regarding the prophecy, and there's this video here from the brother Arrows of Indignation 144, posted this video, testing grounds. Alaska eventually rolled out to the lower 48. Pay attention. Alright, and yes indeed, pay attention, because right now, the times that we're in, the systems that have been implemented and developed, where the microchip is regarding how people are being implanted and how successful the technology is for both the hand and the brain microchip, we're extremely close to the manifestation of this prophecy. Very close. All right now what they're doing is that they're laying down the foundation to make the microchip work on a global scale, and not only global but mandatory. All right, so before I get into the digital ID, we must first understand the prophecy. Revelation chapter 13 and verse 16, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. So he that will be causing it are the people that are in rulership today, who are the so-called white people, the biblical Edomites, whose forefathers Esau. Specifically, it will be their ruling class, who are the wicked elite of Esau Edom, who are the elite bankers. All right, they have an agenda at hand, and it is their New World Order agenda. We are living through it literally right now. They have other names for it, such as the Fourth Industrial Revolution, the Intelligence Age, the Digital Age, Agenda, Agenda 2030 or whatever. It's all the same thing. All right, it is about them pushing out their microchip and transforming the world towards this whole digital age and digital society. And this year it has accelerated very rapidly with how artificial intelligence has become more prominent, etc. Okay, so he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond. It will become mandatory. It doesn't matter who you are, your social status, or anything like that. You will have to be microchipped in order to continue in their society, as it says in verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So unless you have the mark of the beast, which is a microchip, you won't be able to exist in their society, right? You won't be able to function. You won't be able to get access from government services, medical services, financial services, food. Everything is going to be cut off from you unless you have the microchip. All right, and so it says a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. So the microchip technology in the hand, up and running, and in the forehead, the brain microchip up and running as well, and successful. So the microchip technology is already out there, and people are being successfully implanted. So what we're waiting for is the system to come in. All right, the smart cities, the 15-minute cities, the central bank digital currencies, which is about, transforming the payment system from the old system, which is the paper cash, towards a digital payment system. Why? Because the microchip is going to be the main form of making payments, and it is a digital device, so it will be making digital payments. So they're getting rid of that old system, and so that's why you have these central bank digital currencies. Then you have the digital identification system, which is a stepping stone towards the microchip. The digital ID is not the mark of the beast, it is the stepping stone. All right, so Here in the word mark G5480, it says Karagmo, a stamped and imprinted mark. This is the physical microchip. At the origin, G5482 is the Karax. A stake, this is the device that is used to administer the microchip. And then G1125, the grapho, right? It says to delineate or form letters on a tablet, parchment paper, or other material, to write with reference to the contents of the writing, to express in written characters, to commit to writing, things not to be forgotten, write down, record. All right, so in previous days, they like to say ancient days, people would, put the information that they know about on the tablets, the parchment paper, or the material, but the modern day way of doing that is digitally. All right, so this is, as it says, to commit to writing, things not to be forgotten, write down, record. This is all of that data that is stored on it. Okay, and so we go to the microchip itself, biometric microchip. You can also Google RFID microchip, or you can Google transdermal microchip. It is all the same thing with different names. All right, but it is the microchip itself. So, right here with the transdermal microchip, I will say that when the information first came out about it, the image that came up was the image of the microchip itself. But since that day that the prophets of Yahweh Shemishai reported on it, no matter how much you refresh it, it will not show you the picture of the microchip. But in one of my older videos, actually the initial video that I did on it regarding the transdermal microchip, it literally shows you that it's the microchip. All right, and this transdermal microchip came about because they're talking about implanting the prisoners. He calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and what? Bond. Okay, and then also the RFID microchip. All right, so this is it right here. All right, this is the mark of the beast. The size of a grain of rice, and this is how it's administered, and that device used to administer it is the Karax. Okay, now I like taking it. You can take it from any one of them, but I do like taking it from here, biometric microchip. A biometric microchip is a tiny implantable device, often rice-sized, that stores unique personal data like fingerprints, iris scans, or ID numbers for identification, access, or payment. So that's the grapho part of it. Okay, commonly seen in secure passports, but increasingly used for contactless payments, hand payments, and unlocking devices, raising privacy concerns despite benefits in security and convenience. How they work: RFID technology, data storage, right? That's that grapho part. They store digital biometric templates, face, fingerprint, iris, or personal info linked to databases, biometric matching. All right, common applications: biometric passports and ID, contactless payments, right? Because the microchip itself is going to be the main mode and only mode of making payments. Access control, medical records. Okay, so note how it works, the microchip itself. Now, with understanding how the microchip works, we know that it's the mark of the beast. We observe what's going on in the world. All right, Esau, the so-called white man, the way how things work is that things happen gradually. So systems have to be put in place. So we observe those systems that are coming in. And so this digital ID is an extremely important part of the system that is coming in. Okay, so going back to this video, you can see here that I have this image which shows you the digital ID, right? So now this digital ID, which was proposed by the World Economic Forum, and it is now being implemented by every single country around the world, because Esau's NWO is a one world order, right? And the prophecy heading towards the microchip is that he causeth all. All right, it's going to be a worldwide event. Okay, so all of the countries around the world are adopting this digital ID, and as you can see from the digital ID, keeping in mind how the microchip works and all of the data and information recorded on it, you can see here digital ID It shows you, firstly, it's connecting people with things, with entities and devices. Then it shows you on the digital ID all of these things that are going to be attached to it: your healthcare, your financial services, food and sustainability, travel and mobility, humanitarian response, e-commerce, social platforms, e-government, which is government services, telecommunications. Your phone is going to be attached to it. And I did a video on the phone and how they're going to be attaching it to it, your SIM card identification to your digital identification, right? And then the smart cities, because it will be connected to the smart cities, communicating with the smart cities. The smart cities themselves are going to be the cities completely driven by technology and artificial intelligence. And what Esau's vision essentially is that they're going to have these completely technologically driven cities, which are the smart cities, the 15-minute cities, and people are going to be microchipped, and they're going to be using the microchip for every single purpose in their life when they're going about their day. All right. So this is the plan that the devil has, talking about the so-called white man. Now, you're looking at this digital ID, you can clearly see, when knowing what the microchip is and how it functions, that this is the stepping stone of gathering all of your information into one place, because that's what the microchip is, an all for one use device that consolidates all of your information into one place. And the digital ID is doing that very same thing. So it is the stepping stone. All right. So then let's listen, because now, as we are approaching the end of Esau's kingdom, things are accelerating and the prophecy is speaking louder than ever before, day by day. Okay, so now, you have different countries that have launched central bank digital currencies and digital IDs, but now America is really starting to make that push. And Trump, what did he do when he came into power this second go around? The first official meeting he had was about the $500 billion artificial intelligence infrastructure, right? The Stargate project. All right. This is a part of Esau's NWO. All right. Transforming America towards that digital age, the fourth industrial revolution. Then what else did Trump do this year? He signed the Genius Act into law, which brought in the stable coins, which the stable coins is a digital currency, right? A form of it, which works as a 1-to-1 ratio to the US dollar, which means that essentially it is the US central bank digital currency. Okay, it works in that same exact kind of way. So without them naming it as such, it is actually functioning in that same manner. So that's why I said it like that. Okay, but it is, in other words, the US digital dollar, because it's 1-to-1 ratio to the US dollar in the form of a digital coin. All right, a digital payment system. So then as well, he signed the I don't remember what it's called, or don't even know, to be quite honest. I may have to look that up again. But he did sign into law the transformation of the medical industry to go completely digital. Okay, so they're making their move in America. And it is important to watch America, because America is Mr. Babylon the Great, right? Then as well, you have the digital IDs in America that have been rolling in slowly but surely, but they have been doing it by way of calling it mobile driver's licenses, which is in fact a digital ID. All right, so compared to other countries, I've observed that America isn't as, how do I say this? Forthright, I think that's the word. Blatant with what they're doing. They don't call it central bank digital currency. Instead, they sign the stable coin into law. They don't call it the digital ID. They instead promote and establish the mobile driver's license, which is a digital ID. So they're doing it in a certain kind of, like, to me, sneaky kind of way. But now, with us approaching the prophecy closer than ever, things are becoming more obvious to what it is. So with all of that being said, Here it is. Let's play this video. And everything is fair use.
With artificial intelligence system for America. Alaska is becoming the first testing ground for plans to create a digital ID system for Americans. This ties in with changes being made to the state's My Alaska digital identity system, which could potentially be interwoven with artificial intelligence and payment functions. Oh, it is. It is. We're going to get more into it, guys, but wild times, and excuse me, I have been battling a cold. That's why I've been missing, but I have quite a few updates and different videos today. You're going to want to make sure you're subscribed and hit the notification bell because, yeah, we got a lot to get through throughout this whole day. But let's take a look at this.
A plan to create a digital ID system for Americans is now being rolled out, and Alaska is becoming the first testing ground. This ties in with changes being made to the state's My Alaska digital identity system, which is now being interwoven with artificial intelligence and payment functions. Now, according to a document from Alaska's Department of Administration's Office of Information Technology, as obtained by Reclaim the Net, it says, the state is considering implementing agentic artificial intelligence models within My Alaska application to enhance service delivery to users of the application. So, what does that actually entail? Well, one part would be to allow AI to complete applications, do eligibility checks, and complete, quote, multi-step government service transactions on behalf of users. But the plan actually goes further than this. They're looking to integrate biometric authentication. Think facial recognition, fingerprinting, and also have smart wallet integration in the app as well. Now, look, this has some benefits. It really does, mainly when it comes to efficiency, ease of use, especially security. It can do a lot of good to get rid of, theft and fraud, for example. But this also represents a problem of just overall consolidation. All of your info, your biometrics, your financial information, potentially even like your internet activity, your digital footprint, all collected in a single place and then monitored with an all-seeing artificial intelligence system working for the government that's going to look for anything and everything that's off. But this plan in Alaska, it's also raising concerns over potential abuses that have been seen in countries that actually already have similar systems. We can look, for example, at the Chinese Communist Party's social credit system, one of the worst case examples we see in the current state of the world. In China, under the communist regime, the system gives every single person a good citizen rating or a bad citizen rating. Get too low, and you even lose your ability to make payments in the digital currency. And because of that, you get to be homeless because you can't rent a home, you can't buy food, businesses won't hire you. The new gulag is being pushed out of the system itself. That is what it looks like. And hopefully that's not where this is leading to, but they are currently rolling out digital ID systems tied in with financial systems right here in the United States.
Now, I posted this. I did a post on YouTube earlier to let you guys know I was sick and about this. And some people were like, I haven't heard anything about it. This isn't happening. Some people have told me this is not going to happen in the U.S. Well, it's here, guys. It's here. Also in Utah. Okay, but let's go over some of the details, and I have some more to show you. Alaska is about to hand the keys to your entire life into an AI overlord, and nobody's paying attention. That's what we've been saying, right? Good morning, Alaska. This is 3 parts. Our state government just quietly dropped a plan that should have every...
All right, so yeah, man, y'all see what it is. Y'all see what's happening. And those with the spirits of Yahweh Shemishai know what time it is, man. All right, this thing is taking flight in America, Mystery Babylon the Great. So y'all know what time it is, man. And the time that's coming is this. In Revelation chapter 3 and verse 10, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. So the hour of temptation is when you're faced with the mark chip. All right, and so it's going to be upon all the world. The word world here at G3625 is oikomini, which is talking about the inhabited earth. So it's going to affect the entire earth, all spirits upon the earth. Now, regarding who isn't supposed to take it, that message is on to the nation of Israel. Okay? You so-called niggers, Latinos, and Native Americans, and any of you that look like the heathen but sincerely believe, you know, y'all are Israelites, man, by way of your forefathers' seeds. So this is what is coming. And Yahweh Shemishah is warning you to not take the microchip because there's a judgment for it. Right? In Revelation chapter 14, verse 9 and 10, if you take the microchip, you will be destroyed by the thermonuclear fire. That will be the final judgment. All right? And so as well, the word temptation and the word try here, they break down to the same word, which goes to peron, which says to pierce, right? So you can also read this as, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also keep thee from the hour of piercing, which shall come upon all the world to pierce them that dwell upon the earth. Why is it the hour of piercing? Because that is how the microchip is administered, by piercing the skin. All right, so these are the times that we're in, man. And the scriptures say in the book of Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 3, the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, it will surely come, it will not tarry. All right, so the prophecy is speaking louder than ever before. Okay, and we're heading into 2026, and it is, you know, we are of one spirit, you know, and brothers, the prophets of Yahweh Shemishai, from what I am observing, and I feel it as well, the year coming, there is going to be, you know, further acceleration and development of implementing the system and moving faster towards the microchip, which is the mark of the beast. And once this prophecy is fulfilled, then will the destruction and the salvation come. Which means that as well, the other prophecies are at hand. Jacob's trouble has already started, but Jacob's trouble has a peak that hasn't arrived as yet. That peak is coming. World War III, that's on the table, and that's escalating as well. The famine, the pestilence, everything. Okay, so we are heading into some very tumultuous times, and the scriptures say that in the last days perilous times shall come. So pray to remain in the spirit, and pray to have that mark of the exemption, which is a spiritual mark, the Thawa, written about in Ezekiel chapter 9 and verse 4, which is a separate mark from the physical mark of the microchip, which is a charagma. Okay, Revelation 14 and verse 9, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh Shemishai, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb, who is Yahushai. So this is going to be the judgment for those who will take the microchip, and we already know the number of them that will be taking it, or rather the percentage, right? 2/3 of our people, as it pertains to Zechariah chapter 2 and verse Zechariah chapter 13 and verse 8. All right, and you know what, I'll just get it. Zechariah chapter 13 and verse 8, and it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord Yahweh, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left in. And that isn't talking about in America. So the Lord Yahushai, when he returns, he will be delivering the elect from the 4 corners of the earth, and the 1/3 of our people from America and 2/3 of our people will be destroyed in the thermonuclear fire. This is the second death, death by way of fire. The first death was by way of the flood, which was the water. All right, when it talks about the lake of fire in the book of Revelation, it is talking about America set ablaze by the ICBM missiles. Okay, so The time is approaching. With that, all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Shemishai, Bashim Kodesh. Shalom.